right, Andy. So we're going to do this real quick just so we got something for the call. Um, and I'm not going to edit or do anything cute with it. What I'm going to do is basically grab the last week and we're going to just take Fibonacci levels. This is something that's fairly easy. And so our high point for the week looks like, wow, really close to the same across the board. So we'll just say this was pretty much our high. You can see we hit it twice. And then we'll look at the Fibonacci levels. And I'm not going to, let's just draw really fast boxes. So here's today and the collapse that we've got going on right here. And then we look at the next band of resistance. And sure enough, this is where the market pretty much closed. And then we had the 50% level that we blew right past yesterday. And then here, here. And you see where it gathers, right? So kind of interesting that a couple of different times we hovered right in between, almost down, touch, touch, back up, retraced, back down, and then all the way through the floor to the extreme that we're at right now. So this is just setting up a range. Had we looked at the same range, if I just move this up to even the last high to low, notice this was still a Fibonacci level. It's just 161 to 261. And in between. So they're really, the market seems to be all over technical levels here. So that's just looking at the 1 week. Let's go out and look at 1 month high low, and you can see right now we'll take the same. Let's not count today. Let's just go to the previous high from the previous low and look at the levels here, and we'll see we've set up again on a 50% retracement level. So on the more macro trend, 50%, and we'll change this color just so we can see it a little bit easier for you. Let's make it I don't know, pink. But now we'll go out to a quarter, so 3 months. Take the same look on a quarterly basis. Grab the high point, grab the low point. And you can see we're starting to run out of bars, but they were cramped in there before. Now look at our 50% level here, and we could see, sure enough, we came back to the 50. Here was our 100 up here, and our extreme down here. So we can see the ranges that are setting up. So we're between the 50 and 100. There's a range here. We saw when we came into the 1 month that there was the top of our range. I'll grab the bottom here, bring it up. There's the bottom of the range. Here's the intermediate ranges. So that's when we get into the 1 week, right? And we see our intermediate ranges. So if we go out from 3 months, let's go all the way back out the 1 year figure, and the 1 year is barely going to change. So that was the joke. Remember when we said August was a great year? Well, here was August. Here's the high point and the low, and it barely changes, right? I mean, our 50% level, if we grab this one here, here's the 50% level for the 1 year point. Make this one blue. And then finally, we can go out 5 years. And now we're looking at monthlies here, but the 5 year range, again, we go from a peak to trough. And let's just look at the 50% range. And again, kind of creepy. Look at where we are, right there between a couple of long-term ranges again. So we'll make these gray. But you can see here, we trade on these Fibonacci's. This is a 5 year chart. Then we come in and we look at a 1 year chart. And sure enough, we see we're between those ranges on the 5 year. And then we come in and we look at a quarterly chart. And we're still between the ranges on the 5 year. And now we've brought in our intermediates and then all the way down into the 1 week where we got our levels here. And this was, I guess, 1 month. I just jumped past the 1 month. That was the 50% level. So that was just drawing Fibonacci's on each of those. And you can see how we're coming into these ranges and you find yourself going, yeah, that's crazy to just think about how these are all working out. So we go from hourly to, let's look at daily bars, and we can grab a couple years worth. We can go out to weekly bars, and we can grab a lot more. data than that, so all the way back to 2003. So this is why people are panicking though. If this is the 50% level, what's the full retracement? You know, we get down here and we can see next range, this is way down here, and we've already tested this one. So if we fall below the levels here, that's the 1000 range here, and we got down to what, 1101, something like that. So if we get below there, then we get into this choppy area of not really Fibonacci, but these are just high and low points, right? So there was a point in here. I'm looking at this area. Down here was another point. So what do we see? We see market, and we've seen predictions. Oh, 775. That's a number you've heard. 960 something, somewhere between 980 and 965. There's a level, right? So those are where those numbers are showing up. Is what were the last peaks in cycles? Peak, trough, right? There was a range in there. So where is the market trying to find valuation? These are the components. That's why I have this real concern to the downside. Is if this is going to be another head and shoulders, then does it drop again? So anyway, hopefully this is helpful.